everyone. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing pretty good. Thought I'd hop on here and do a little advertising. It's not the kind of advertising you think. I'm not really advertising. I just want to share something with you guys. I just was teasing about the advertising. You might think it's that by the time I get done, but it's just a share. My granddaughter, her name is Gabrielle, and she lives in Florida. And we are very proud of this young lady. She wrote a book. She edited the book, and she produced her own book. I don't know how to say it. I guess I should have looked up some stuff, huh? Anyway, you can get this book through Amazon. I couldn't believe it. I'm not quite finished with it. I will finish this book today, and it saddens my heart because I wanted to keep going. The good thing is she has a second book in this series coming out November, December-ish, sometime in along there. And so I'll get to continue the series. But until then, I'll be sad because I finished. Maybe I'll have to read it again. But anyway, I wanted to hop on here and show you. This is the book, Reach the Blue. The name on the book, Gabrielle Newton. That's her name. That's the author of this book. It's her first book. And I thought I would read just a little bit, just to tease y'all. It's a really good book. Y'all, just a little bit about it. It is it's unique. I guess I would call it. I'm biased. I think it's one of the best books that I've read in a long time, and I can honestly say that, whether it's hers or somebody else wrote it, it's a good book. She's very Christian. I don't know any other way of putting it. She loves the Lord a lot. There is nothing in this book that your 10-year-old couldn't read. That's how clean it is. It's one of those books that anybody can read it, young or old. Man or woman. Actually, my husband's reading it because he told her he would, and he is. And I think he's kind of enjoying it. He won't admit it, of course, but I think he is because he keeps mentioning, how did she come up with this, and how did she come up with that? Well, let me just read just a little bit. I don't want to give anything away, but I'm going to read just a little bit. Maybe it'll give you an idea of just a little bit. And I'm not a very good reader, so forgive me. Nicholas stayed right where he was in front of her, holding on to her arm. But he was older, and so was she. He stood 8 inches taller than her. Now, his jaw was stronger, and so was his grip, his shoulders wider than they had been when he was 12 seasons old. That moment had marked the very beginning of their rivalry with each other, and she did not know if this moment meant the end of it. She did not know how to feel about that, but she thought she would have time to ponder on it. That was until she saw the bush quiver. 1 second, Nicholas was holding her arm. His hand warmed through the leather of her jacket sleeve, and in the next he was gone. Cougar, fallen, gone. Althea screamed, the sound tearing painfully from her throat. She barely felt the stones as she fell to her stomach at the edge of the ravine, holding out her hand like she could somehow reverse time, and simply walk over the edge of the ravine and grab his hand, guiding him back to hold his arm in the shoulders hand clasp, soldier's hand clasp. The one that soldiers in the guard used that meant more than friendship. She wanted to see the sparkle of new beginning in his eyes as they held each other's arm for the second time in their lives after a lifetime of trying to make the other miserable. He screamed her name. Why was he screaming her name? He was the one falling, not her. Althea would never forget the sound of the ice shattering when Nicholas hit the frozen water below. She continued to scream his name. His head bobbled above the water once before he went below the surface and did not come back up. She whipped around at the low growl, pushing herself up onto a defensive crouch, kneeling at the edge of the cliff. She pulled her dagger out of its sleigh, and numb, trembling fingers, her sight blurred. She could not tell if it was from the rain or unshed tears. A second cougar plowed out from behind the thick bush. Its leg was bare from any fur. It suddenly struck Althea that it was the same cougar that had torn through their camp the night before. It had followed them for days. It had tracked them. And she had not known, even with her training, she had not sensed that they had been followed. Anger burned like fire in Althea's chest. Her shaking hand steadied on the hilt of her dagger as she slid it back in its sleeve and instead drew her sword. The steel was as dirty and dark as the storm above them. The rain washed the filth and rust down the blade and over her hands as she took a step forward, her knuckles a stark white against the blazed hilt. The bronze hilt. Told you I can't read. Everything in Althea wanted to run forward and end this now, but the seasons of training forced her muscles to relax, her mind somehow finding its own way to the back room despite the darkness that blinded its way. She slid her left foot forward and eased into a fighting stance. The cougar licked its fangs and paced side to side, eyeing Althea from top to bottom, not blinking once. Althea did the same. She took a step forward, angling herself with her right side to the drop instead of her back. The cougar stopped, facing her head on, bending on his hutches, prepared to strike. "Come on, kitty," Althea taunted. The logical side of her mind that would have told her she was being an idiot was numb. I get that. It responded with a low growl, but it just stared at her, tilting its head, confused at the reaction. "Come on," she shouted and swung her sword in the open space between them, sending the droplets of water that collected on her hands into the cougar's face. It flinched and crouched lower, baring its fangs. Then it lunged. Althea was ready to meet the animal halfway, but she was not ready for the other cougar that had snuck up behind her. She heard the crunch of pebbles under something big, and she twisted out of instinct. And I will leave it there, because I don't want to give away any of it. one little girl against two big cougars. Nicholas was already gone. This part of the story almost made me cry. And it's a good book, y'all. I can't wait to get back into it, which I will do as soon as I say goodbye on this video. So remember, if you want to support a new author who is just getting started, please purchase her book on Amazon and give it a try. You won't regret it, I promise. You can look her up on TikTok as Gabby Rose 956. If you want to see a little bit more into what kind of book it might be. This is my granddaughter, the author, and it tells a little about her. And like I said, we're very proud of her and can't wait to see the next book. I'm fixing to start reading and finish this book as much as I don't want to. I only have this much to go. And I can't tell y'all what happens. I can't tell y'all if Althea makes it. I can't tell you if Nicholas survives. I can't tell you anything more than I just told you. Go and get the book. You can get it on, it's paperback. It's out on paperback through Amazon. It is also you can get it on your Kindle if you have a Amazon Kindle account. I don't know if there's any other ways of getting it as of yet. Like I said, it's very new. It's only been out about a month, maybe 3 weeks. And yeah, I hope you'll try it. I hope you'll get it and support a young author coming up who has a very good career, I believe, in writing books, and they're clean. That's what I like about it. They're clean. I can read it to Hayden and not feel bad about it. I could read it to my 5-year-old great-granddaughter and not feel bad about it. So I hope you'll hop on and give it a try, give it an order. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, share my video, and help me get the word out and help somebody who is new and coming up and has a great potential to be a great author. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to say a prayer for me and I'll pray for you. And don't forget to pray for each other. I'll catch you later. Bye, y'all.